Live. All right, check it out. So, as always, I'm going to go through some of my own workouts right now, and I do these same 3 or 4 stretches all the time. And these are things that I show a lot of guys at the gym, either in the weight room or the basketball gym while playing ball. And I thought I'd throw up a video and go through some of these stretches live and see what you guys think. So, when it comes to your stretches, right, whatever we call a stretch, we're just trying to mobilize joints. We're trying to just find positions that our body can get better at so we can go and swing a golf club, play basketball, coach the kids, etc. All right. So, number one thing to remember is that your body gets good at what you ask it to do most of the time. That's the quote. Read that at the bottom of the screen. Your body gets good at what you ask it to do most of the time. If you're asking your body to sit in this position all day long, great. Your body will get good at that. You can now sit for 8 hours and work instead of 3 hours. All right. But if you're going to get up and now jump into a layup or get a rebound, block a volleyball shot, throw a baseball around with your son or daughter, your body's not going to get as good at that, right? So what can we do? What 3 stretches do we do to improve that? These are things I do every day with my people, all right? So let's go through a couple of them. Number one, I've talked a lot about lately, is hanging. So hang any way you can, right? Get up from your chair right now. Just grab any part of the ceiling if you have rafters, maybe the trim on your door. If you have a pull-up bar, if you're in the weight room watching this on your phone, just grab one of the bars. There's a lot of cable machines like this in your fitness centers, in your health clubs. Just hang. All right. So this is a parallel bar grip. Every grip is going to be a little different too. Underhand grip, overhand grip, wide grip. Just feel it out. See how your shoulders feel, but just hang. All right. The question I usually get, do you just kind of hang on your meat? Do you just relax? Or do you stay somewhat engaged? Stay a little engaged. So keep a little reverse shrug in your shoulders and then tuck your tail a little bit. That's exaggerated, but don't just totally hang with your kind of with your hips tilted back. That can bother your lower back. So start with a little bit of engagement and reverse shrug in your shoulders. Tuck your tail, keep your abs engaged, and just hang and relax. And breathe. With all these stretches, remember, if you cannot breathe in any particular position you are attempting to get into, you don't own that position. Right? So I can go into a hang, it looks pretty good, but if I'm holding my breath the whole time and I'm hating life, I don't really own that position, and that's a problem. Right? So if I go into that position actively, dynamically, whatever you want to say in a game, getting a rebound, you're going to bother your neck, you're going to bother your shoulder, you're going to bother your upper back, and you're sitting. Nobody wants to sit. All right? So hang any which way you can. I have other videos on that. Number 2, a deep squat. Almost everyone who comes in, maybe my clients over 70, 75 are going to deep squat, but I do this with everyone. And again, like a lot of these, it's not just a stretch, but I'm just kind of checking in with my body. This is an assisted stretch. I want to just hang on to the bar, so I'm just going to squat down, all right? And just drop down all the way into that position to where I just want to see. This is sort of, I'm expressing total dorsiflexion of my ankles, total flexion of my knee joint, flexion of my hip joint. And then what I can do is I can either kind of really lengthen my spine upright, or I can sink into my tailbone and flex my lower back. All right. Flex my lower back, my lumbar spine, flex my pelvis, right? And so kind of sit there and hang, right? I don't want to do this loaded, but this is more just a mobility stretch, an unloaded stretch. So it's bad for your knees, bad for your ankles. It's really not if you're listening to your body. I want to be able to just fully flex all these joints. I might do a little waddle here, drive my knees out to the side. All right. Your goal could be to do that unassisted. You might be able to do anatomically, your hip joint may not be deep enough. You may have some old injuries that are restricting this. That's fine. What I do, if someone does have some of these restrictions, this is a 12-inch step. Find the low step or low box. Your last step at your stairs going downstairs, something like that. And go there. All right. So I'm going to sit here. It's a deeper squat than maybe my desk chair. And just to feel out. Can I get into a squared position, meaning my thighs are the same angle coming out from my hips? My knees, my thighs are lined up with my second or third toe in my foot. Can I sit in this position, right? Then when I get into this position, can I sit up nice and straight? Get up on your sit bones. Feel your sit bones. Roll back on your sit bones. Roll forward on your sit bones. Roll onto your left sit bone. Roll onto your right, right? Just kind of feel that out. Just kind of get in this position. Just mobilize this deep squat position. So it's not just doing a basic stretch, but Just feel this out. How does this feel? All right. Because again, as a weekend warrior, right? You're gonna play basketball on Saturday morning. Have you got into some sort of decent squat position? All right. You're playing first base. All right. Whatever you're doing, you're catching your son who's working on his pitching, and you want him to pitch a little bit. Now you're in this position for 2 hours, right? And then your knee's gonna be barking at you because they're not used to being in this position. All right. So real quick, then let's add those two together. We did some hanging. We did a deep squat. What you can do then is add the two together and work on your overhead position in a deep squat. So hold on to a bar, squat down, get in a good position, and reach high with your one hand. You'll feel your opposite back work hard here. You're working your posture muscles here, and you get into that overhead position while you're squatting. All right? Hang and squat. Let me switch on comments just in case anybody's watching, but just in case, you never know. All right. Last one is some sort of hurdle stretch or hip flexor stretch. If we sit in this position here at our desk, our hip flexors are going to get tight. We need to take this position here, bring this back behind us. So you might be able to just stand in this position here with the leg behind you, stay nice and tall, and get that stretch there, right? That's kind of your goal. And so that might be enough to feel this hip flexor stretch. All right, so my left foot is forward, my right foot is back. If you feel that stretch, good. Because as you're running, you want to be in this position, you want to be able to drive that leg back with no problem. If you're actually jumping or running fast or skipping or something like that, we really want to stretch that out. Because again, if you've been sitting at your desk all day long, your body gets good at sitting at its desk. The better your body gets at sitting at a desk, the worse it gets at running, jumping, doing layups. So to take that to the next level would be some sort of hurdle step. So to stand with 1 foot forward, I'm going to stand about almost a foot distance away from the box. And then I'm going to come into this position here, tuck my tail, and get a good stretch down this leg and hip. All right. So that would be just like the next level of that. And then again, add that high reach to it, and you'll get a stretch down that entire line of your body. My rib cage, my hip, my waist, my thigh. All right. That stretch there. Again, you just kind of go into that. You're not just think about it as just your body getting good at something. Get good at this position, all right? And then test the other side. How does that feel? All right. If you were to do that one on the floor, let's say you're at the gym, maybe you have bleachers to step up on. The version of that I'm going to do on the floor would be here, and do a runner's pose. So runner's pose, lunge stretch. I'm stretching this hip flexor out. I'm staying that nice and long. All right. Again, your overhead hanging position. I'm reaching overhead here. I can reach overhead there while I'm getting that. And then you can also add a twist to this movement. All right. So again, hip flexor stretch. I can have my knee on the floor and get a twist there. All right. So overhead reach and then twisting reach while I'm getting this hurdle stretch, lunge stretch, hip flexor stretch. All right. Hang, deep squat, hurdle stretch, or hip flexor stretch. And here's your bonus. I think I promised the bonus. A bonus would be a 90-90 stretch. So you want to rotate your hip joints in the socket. So 90-90 stretch. Both knees are at 90 degrees. My thigh comes out of my pelvis at 90 degrees. I'm going to sit in this position here, the long spine, and just hang out here for a few minutes and see how does that feel in this position. I can rotate over that front thigh. I'm going to go golf or play any sport. All right, I'm going to bring my chest down towards my front knee. I'm going to bring my chest down towards my shin. And then I'm going to bring my chest and belly button towards my heel, just to kind of feel this out, practice this position. Anytime a guy comes to me and says, man, my knees are just barking at me every time I jump up for a rebound, and I'm talking about guys 35, 40, 45, 50 years old playing ball, I always ask them, do this stretch and just see how it feels. Get better at this stretch, all right? Spend some time in this stretch. The other way, all right? So stay nice and tall, all right? So again, I can rotate over that front thigh, bring my chest down towards my knee, towards my shin, towards my ankle, all right? Again, just kind of explore this stretch, 90-90 stretch, and then you can transition between the two. I'm sitting nice and tall, transition over, all right? It's just back and forth. So there you go. Hang, deep squat, work on this position here. Some sort of hurdle stretch, hip flexor stretch, that 90-90 stretch. Just practice those. Mix one of them in every day to your regular workout after your walk. You sit down and plop in front of the TV at 9 o'clock at night. Get on the floor first and do a couple of these stretches. Do a deep squat stretch. Do your 90-90 stretch a few times before you go to bed, before you sit on the couch. All right, your body will thank you. Your hips will thank you. You'll feel much better on the court this weekend. All right? Knock those out. Tell me what you think. I'll see you next time.